Hey, look at that B-roll attempt. We're looking at art today, bitches. Alright, so what I did a lot in high school was manga. I used to buy manga and share them with my friends, and I would draw all the panels out of the manga. My favorite one was Hanakimi when I was in middle school. I freaking loved this series so much. So I have a lot of pieces from it. Yeah, I just wanted to jumping right in here, but I wanted to show you guys, or kind of document, some of my old artwork from middle school and high school. This is another little character. I think it was just like a fun character in that series. I don't think it was an actual character. I think it was just like a drawing on one of the pages. This is from one of Fall Out Boy's older albums. It was their cover art. And I liked it, so I copied it. That's pretty much all I did. I didn't really create my own stuff a whole lot. Another little dude is the dog from Hanakimi. Just copying, which I guess is a good thing because it helped me work on my skills. This is a little comic that I found at my mom's work one day, and I copied it because I thought it was cute. That's probably the oldest piece I got. I don't know if you could really consider that art. I was just bored. But yeah. More Hanakimi! This was when that guy decided he wanted to be gay because he thought the chick was a dude, and yeah. It's a good series, guys, I swear. Anyways, I've been working on digital art recently, and I just got back into art for the first time in a really long time. Almost 30 now, and I put art on the back burner. I never really tried to do any sort of studies or learn anatomy for art or anything like that. I've never used any sort of guides. I've always just copied what I saw, almost in a grid format, but without the grid. So I bought a drawing tablet, and I decided to take it seriously. And while doing that, I wanted to kind of look back on my old stuff, which a lot of it is anime. Surprise, surprise. This is just another doodle. I think I maybe made that up, but I mean, doodles are doodles. A little doodle there. I did a lot of that. It was hard for me to pay attention in school, so I wound up drawing on everything, even my tests. Little tap out thing. My boyfriend, who is my husband now, was really into tap out. So I drew that. I'm not sure why. I guess I just wanted to draw it. Rise Against. They were my jam. This little guy was my first character I ever made. And I think the only character I ever made while I was in school. There's another little doodle. That's a band, Never Shout Never. Well, as a person, I guess. One of those one-people bands that, instead of going by their name, just use a band name. Yeah, anyways. There's another doodle. With Sharpie, of course. I feel like I can just feel the angst coming off of this picture. Oh, especially this one. Ooh. I mean, it looks fine for a doodle. I'm not trying to critique it or nothing. It's just the angst. Oh man, I was trying so hard to be emo. That was for a creative writing magazine. I did the cover for it. The theme was Labyrinth. Yeah, because it's over in the corner down there. Labyrinth. I don't remember why that was, but yeah. I guess I gave her the emo hairstyle I always wanted. This was another copy. I found this picture off of like Pinterest or something, and my art instructor loved it. I drew it and then turned it into spray paint art. So that was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with that, and I did a lot of copies of it. This is the one that I wound up keeping. This, I don't know. I think this was also inspiration from a band album. I want to say like Blink-182 or something like that. I don't know. The balloon, maybe All Time Low. Maybe the balloons look familiar, but I'm not sure. Honestly, I don't know why I've kept all this stuff. But I got it, so I thought it'd be cool to just have a video capture of all the stuff that I used to do when I was a kid. My Mad Hatter sketchbook that I only got like 6 pages into and then never used again. I did, this is late high school, early college. I started trying to do photorealistic sketches where I would just take a picture of somebody and try to draw it. And this is where I was really handicapped. As you can see on the right, that's supposed to be Angelina Jolie from Wanted. I did not use anatomy or any type of guidelines or anything. I just copied what I saw, and you can tell there's things off about every picture. I never took the time to learn that. I knew that was a thing when I was drawing, but I never took the time to learn it. And then a lot of this is going to get into just half-finished crap that I did. I would get like halfway through something and then get bored of it and then never finish it. Because, I wasn't using any sort of guide. So I was constantly erasing. Yeah, I didn't really understand the concept of hair. I thought that just erasing everywhere would make it look like hair, but this just looks like crap. Oh my goodness, look at that. And it's all completely straight, but in my defense, our hair was that straight when I was that age. We straightened the frick out of it. That's Katy Perry. Christina Perry. I'm getting my Perrys confused. This was when I was getting closer to 18, I think. I started to try to come up with some ideas for tattoos. I really got into this idea for a biomechanical tattoo for a minute. Never got one though. You'll see, I do a lot of sketches for tattoos that I never get. But I thought this would be cool on my rib cage, with like showing my muscles underneath. But yeah, never finished it. And here's my little piece that I started that, clearly is unfinished. This is Absolute Zero. This was also around the time when my husband and I first got together. He was really into Yu-Gi-Oh! Still is. That's fine. And I drew one of his favorite cards at the time, which was Absolute Zero, and that was so much fun to do. I remember doing that. I wish it wasn't in that book, though. I wish I had it, loose. Here's more sketches. I was just, searching in the dark. I didn't really... I had an art teacher, but I don't know. I learned stuff through him, but I didn't really learn anything super advanced of, how to do certain, where shadows fall in the eyes, or how to make things look realistic. Which is fine, not every artist has that art style. But you can just tell when I was trying to be realistic that it was not. It wasn't working out. Now here is some Sharpie stuff that I tried to do in college. I had a plan with this face. I wanted to do different expressions. It was just on copy paper. I wish that I could have maybe painted it on canvas. It would have looked cooler. But yeah, I wanted to do different expressions and then be able to hang them all up. Never finished it. That's the story of my life. Big on not finishing stuff. If I get bored halfway through it, it's so hard for me to continue. That's with anything. That's not just with drawing. Like, once it loses my interest, then I'm done. It's over with. You might as well hang it up. Which I know is not a good way to be, but... And I went through this phase where I did this kind of artwork. It's like blocky... I don't know what to call it. This is terrifying. I don't know what I was thinking when I was drawing this, but this is freaking terrifying. I don't think I even need to point anything out, but I will. Look at this hairline. Oh my God. I just can't believe, like, going back to not using any sort of guise or anatomy or learning how people exist in a 3D space. None of that. I just was going for it. Oh, some of these drawings. Really blocky. Somewhere I made the transition to make these really blocky facial structures. And I'm not sure when or how that came about, but yeah, here's another one. Here I'm starting to learn a little bit more about hair, but I still did that eraser thing. This is just unfinished drawing, probably from a manga. This was another tattoo idea that I wanted to do. I wanted the trunk area to be on my arm, and then the branches to go around my back. I thought it'd be really cool. I mean, it does look pretty cool, but I never got it as a tattoo. Here's another one. It's like the jaw's getting wider and the eyes are getting bigger, but the face is getting shorter. I don't know. Like, that lady had zero forehead. This is a tattoo I finally got. That was my first tattoo. It says love is always with you in Italian, or at least according to Google it does. But it is on my back. That was the first tattoo I ever got. Got it at the beach. Don't do that, guys. Girls and gals. Wait. Guys and gals. Don't do that. Research a tattoo artist. This is another tattoo that I wanted to get. I drew this part, and then the wings I printed offline. Never got that though. I was gonna put this on my chest, but yeah. And here was different designs that I was gonna do for it. A lot of unfinished work. Here I started drawing Scrap Dragon, which is another Yu-Gi-Oh card. I wish I would have finished it, but it was really, really, really detailed. So, yeah, gave up that. I think if I did something like this on my tablet now, I would be more inclined to finish it. It's so much easier on the tablet because if you make a mistake, you know, it's just so much easier. Recently, the past couple years, I got into making a few shirts for some close friends. This is a shirt this was a screen print that I did for a mud run that the girls at the gym did that I go to, AMA down there at the bottom, Advantage Martial Arts. I did a mud run, and I printed those shirts. This is another shirt print that I did, me, my sister, and one of our friends. Faces, and it was just based off of a joke that my sister and I probably took a little bit too far and turned into t-shirts. But yeah, we have them now. I made that into a screen print, and that was a lot of fun to make too. I really liked making kind of like a logo out of our faces with a really simple looking just some line art. This was about a year or two ago. And this was a few weeks ago. We did paint night with me and a few other friends. It was space themed, and I was trying to make the sky, and I made it way too blue, and it was like soaking wet with paint. So I decided to make it space themed with just putting Roger from American Dad in there. It was the ocean, so it still fit. But so obviously I fast forward a lot between this and the last stuff I was showing. There's a big gap in between when I left off in college with drawing to where I just recently picked up being creative again, and it didn't immediately start with drawing. This is another little, I don't really like this, but I did it. I don't know. I think I used Sharpie and alcohol for the background there. And I was going to make, the colors did not turn out the way I wanted them to, but the PlayStation controller looks kind of cool. I was going to make, and then this is another series I was going to make out of all the controllers, but that didn't happen. These were shoes that I made for my husband last Christmas, it was for Christmas. I did them in fabric markers, and this is his favorite scene from his favorite anime. This is where he specifically told me where Ichigo yeeted Aizen, so I made sure to put that in there. And I was really proud of that back piece with that hand because I totally freestyled that. This was the only panel I hated. I hated it so bad because her eyes fell right on the seam and it made it look really weird. But the rest of it I thought turned out pretty good. I mean, it's not as good as other people who do shoe art that I've seen, but picking up where I left off the last time I drew something that was anime style or manga style, it was like whatever skill I gained before, I still had somehow. So that's good, I guess, right? This is when I started finding my passion for art again. It was in this time frame, and this is within the last year or so. We started doing craft nights, which is where that painting came in, and I did those shoes for my husband. And when I did that, I really decided that it was time to start doing art again. This mat that's been in the background here, I did this a few years ago. It was also for my husband. It's a play mat for card games. He uses it for Yu-Gi-Oh! I did it in Sharpie and colored pencil, and it has been through the ringer. So I redid it. Ta-da! I did this. This was my second piece on my tablet that I did, and I made prints. This is a print of it. I'm so happy how it came out. And then I also have matte versions too. I'm so happy. I love how it came out. I took a picture of the original one, traced over what I'd already done, and colored it in. It took longer than what I thought it was going to take, but I'm really happy with how it turned out. Well, guys, that was it. That was all my old art that I still have. Thanks for watching and coming on this journey with me. And sitting through that shaky ass B-roll that I was trying to do. But hey, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up for me. That'd be dope. But I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.